Listen, dating after 40 will expose you, in a good way or a painful way. The attention you got at 25 for potential, it shifts to attention for patterns. Your stories matter less than your habits. That's the uncomfortable thesis most men don't hear soon enough. Beat. We're discussing behaviors in unhealthy dynamics, not generalizing to everyone. Use this to spot patterns, set boundaries, and choose healthy relationships. Here's the first truth. You're not dating possibility anymore. You're dating probability. Some partners are screening for stability because time and energy are non-renewable resources now. Some are compressing timelines because they have clear goals. Some are reenacting old wounds in a new decade. If you don't adapt, you'll burn months in gray area situations that drain your confidence. If you do adapt, you'll build calm attraction, avoid time wasters, and protect your peace. Why do expectations shift this hard after 40? It's not just age, it's math and psychology. There's less time for experiments, more clarity about needs, and more risk sensitivity from scars that never fully disappeared. Research suggests older adults value low drama, high trust connection, think warmth and reliability over adrenaline spikes. Attachment patterns also crystallize with repetition. A partner who learned to chase or avoid at 22 often does a better worded version at 42 unless they've done the work. Add real logistics, kids, co-parenting calendars, houses, health, and dating isn't a vibe. It's an operating system. Your job isn't to be perfect. Your job is to be consistent, readable, and boundaried. Here's where most men get blindsided. You think you're being judged on chemistry. You're being judged on your capacity to co-regulate, your ability to steady the ship when life throws wind. Translation. Your emotional regulation, scheduling competence, and follow-through are attractiveness now. That's not boring. That's irresistible to the right person. Another thing nobody tells you. Some dynamics after 40 look romantic but are actually risk management by another name. Let me show you through patterns and micro-stories so you can recognize them without cynicism. Mark, 45, newly divorced, met a woman who said she'd never felt this seen. They talked until 2 a.m., texted from sunrise, and by week 2 they were shopping for weekend luggage. It felt like destiny. It was a speed run. When she pressed for cohabitation at 6 weeks, because we're not kids, he agreed. At 8 weeks, the tone flipped to tests. Why didn't you answer in 5 minutes? He felt trapped in a relationship shaped by urgency instead of compatibility. When he finally slowed down, no sleepovers midweek, plans 1 week at a time, clear exclusivity talk, she bailed. It wasn't love, it was a timeline. Notice what happened. Urgency replaced discernment. Men, you set the pace too. They say, we should see where this goes naturally. Could mean, let's enjoy benefits without clarity. Verify by, how would you define naturally? What would exclusivity look like for you? Respond with, I do best with clarity. If we're not moving toward exclusivity by X weeks, I'll step back. Which brings us to the resume dater. After 40, some partners interview you like a hiring manager. It's not evil, it's fear dressed as efficiency. They'll quiz income, credit score, retirement plan, co-parent etiquette, sometimes before they know your middle name. If you react defensively or start bragging, you blend in with every rehearsed answer they've heard. The move is steady curiosity and light structure. Acknowledge the practical, anchor in values, and redirect to the shared experience. Andre, 52, met a woman who opened with, How much debt do you have? He smiled and said, I handle my obligations. Happy to talk logistics if we both see a future. For now, I'm curious. What does a great Sunday look like for you? She softened. They talked books and routines. 2 dates later, he revisited the practical. If we're exploring something real, I'm an open book on finances, schedule, and co-parenting. I ask the same. He didn't reject her screening. He reframed it around intimacy earned by experience, not interrogation on date 1. Another pattern that looks romantic at first, the situationship recruiter. She'll say she's not ready but acts partnered. Daily texting, emotional downloads, intimacy that feels like a commitment with the lights off. The longer you treat this as almost, the more you train your nervous system to accept ambiguity as connection. Pause. You're allowed to want labels and structure. When you ask for clarity and she replies, "Labels ruin things," hear it for what it is. A plan to keep options open while extracting value. They say, "I'm not ready for anything serious." Could mean, "I'm healing or hedging, so I want closeness without responsibility." Verify by, what would make you feel ready realistically? What changes between now and ready? Respond with, "I respect your pace. I build best with clear commitments, so I'll wish you well and step back." Here's a more subtle one, the scar tissue tester. Some partners will probe for your calm by poking your old bruises. A late arrival without apology, a minor flirt in front of you, a provocative story about a jealous ex. It's not always manipulation, often it's an unconscious safety check. Can you handle discomfort without exploding or fawning? Your job isn't to ace every test, it's to reveal your standard. A neutral correction beats a lecture. Boundary script. I enjoy us. If we're keeping this healthy, let's start on time. If you're running late, a heads up works. Otherwise, I'll adjust and we'll catch the next one. Hold that thought, because the real test shows up in logistics. After 40, schedules pull hard. Co-parenting calendars, aging parents, work travel. 1 cancellation is life, 3 is data. Don't argue with someone's calendar. Read it. Luis, 48, single dad of 2, met a woman with a messy, changing schedule. She canceled twice day of, each time with detailed context. He didn't chase, he responded clearly. Understood. Let's try Saturdays 2 to 6 p.m. For now. If your schedule stabilizes, we'll add a weeknight. If not, no hard feelings. She agreed. Within a month, she started proposing times. If she hadn't, he would have let it go without resentment. His stability set the tone. They say, "My ex is still in the picture because of logistics." Could mean, there's unfinished emotional business. Verify by, what boundaries do you two keep? How often do you talk outside kid logistics? Respond with, "I'm open to blended schedules. I'm not available for romantic entanglements with exes. If that changes, reach out." Here's the money one. Literally. After 40, some partners bring up shared finances earlier, sometimes cloaked as, "Why pay 2 rents?" It's practical and risky. Early entanglement for convenience can trap you in obligations you didn't agree to carry. The standard is simple. No shared leases, loans, or large purchases until their SA stable commitment and a runway of proof. 6 to 12 months of consistent behavior, not just words. If you're the higher earner, you'll be asked for generosity. Be generous with dinner, not with debt. Now, why do these patterns pull so hard? Because after 40, the nervous system calibrates for safety. Research suggests that calm, predictable warmth beats high-arousal romance for long-term satisfaction. That's why your emotional regulation is a magnet. It's also why chaos can feel like chemistry if you're used to it. If drama was normal in your 20s, quiet can feel like a threat now. That's your cue to rewire. Learn to associate safety with attraction. The good news? It's trainable. Let's make this practical. Your dating frame after 40 is leadership with empathy. Provide structure without being controlling. On early dates, offer a plan with options. Tuesday, 7 p.m., wine bar on 3rd, or Saturday morning coffee and a farmer's market, your call. That shows intention and respect. Keep texting lean between dates. Logistics over novels. Curiosity on the date, not performative texting all week. Pacing matters. Date once a week at first. Take a beat between escalation points and have the exclusivity talk before intimacy deepens too far. That's not old-fashioned. That's risk management for grown-ups. Boundary script. I like where this is going. I date one person at a time, and I'm looking for exclusivity before we get fully intimate. If that aligns, great. If not, no pressure. We'll leave it here on good terms. Micro story for context. Sean, 41, thought honesty meant spilling his entire divorce file on date 2. It made good women into therapists. He learned to titrate. Now he says, I learned a lot from my marriage. I own my part, and I'm in a better place. I'll share more as we build trust. He moves slower. He gets called back more. Why? Because he signals self-ownership without emotional dumping. Another micro-story. Daniel, 46, high earner, used to flex with first-date extravagance. He learned that $400 dinners attract the wrong kind of attention. He switched to well-planned, lower-cost dates with thoughtful details. A favorite local spot, a sunset walk, a reservation that proves foresight. The right women responded to presence more than price. The freeloaders opted out. Filter working as designed. Now for the what to do, you can screenshot in your head. Your quick checklist. Establish a clear pace from the start. Match investment rather than over-pursuing. Keep your schedule honest and visible. Protect your sleep and workouts. It shows emotional regulation. Share your values early. Family, faith, finances in plain language. Observe how she handles no and disappointment. Look for effort parity, not perfection. If those 7 are steady, you're already ahead. Let's also layer in 3 translation moments you'll likely hear. They say, I'm very close with my male best friend. He's been there through everything. Could mean he's an emotional fallback and maybe a romantic backup. Verify by, what boundaries keep your friendship respectful to a relationship? Respond with, I respect long friendships. I won't compete with an emotional partner. If we're building, I'll need clear boundaries there. They say, I don't do labels, they're high school. Could mean, I want freedom without accountability. Verify by, what commitments are you comfortable making in the next 60 days? Respond with, labels don't matter to me. Agreements do. If we can't agree, I'll wish you well. They say, I'm not like other people my age. I still love adventure every weekend. Could mean, I prioritize novelty over stability. Verify by, how do you balance adventure with rest and responsibilities? Respond with, I love adventure too. I also guard my routines. If we match there, great. You might be wondering, isn't this too clinical? What about romance? Here's the paradox. Structure intensifies romance because it lowers anxiety. When both people know the pace, the direction, and the boundaries, attraction has room to breathe. You can relax into playfulness without scanning for threats. That's the grown man frame, order that creates freedom. Let's talk identity, because tactics without an identity shift won't stick. If you're over 40, you are not auditioning for approval. You are offering leadership. That doesn't mean bulldozing. It means providing clarity, pace, and calm. You decide you won't be dragged into ambiguity. You decide your time is precious and your standards are explicit. You decide your energy goes to people who reciprocate. It's not about being hard. It's about being trustworthy, especially to yourself. Here's the ultimatum no one can make for you. Adapt or loop. If you keep chasing intensity, pleasing to avoid conflict or waiting for someone else to define the relationship, you'll repeat the same 6-month story for 6 years. If you adopt this frame, steady, boundaried, inviting, you'll filter faster, connect deeper, and exit cleaner. That's the win. To close, let me give you 2 lines to keep in your Notes app. They will save you weeks. Clarity is connection for me. If we can't agree on pace and exclusivity, let's end it respectfully while it's still good. I'm attracted to consistency. Let's plan for what we can do and be honest about what we can't. I won't chase or play games. Men, dating after 40 rewards the man who steadies himself first. Your habits are your game now. Build a life that runs well without a relationship, then invite someone to join you in it. If she can't meet you there, wish her well and keep walking. Subscribe for more scripts, breakdowns, and tools that make this part of your life calmer and stronger. Your next chapter isn't late. It's waiting for your standard.